In this presentation, we will understand hybrid inheritance in C++. So without any further delay, let's get started with this lecture and let's see what are the topics. The first topic is Introduction to Hybrid Inheritance. First, I will introduce you to hybrid inheritance. Then we will move to the next topic where with the help of an example program, we will understand how to implement hybrid inheritance in C++. So these are the topics of this lecture. Let's start with the first one, Introduction to Hybrid Inheritance. As the name itself suggests, hybrid inheritance is the combination of two or more types of inheritance in a single program. So with the help of hybrid inheritance, it is possible to combine two or more types of inheritance. And this allows modeling complex real-world relationships properly. So this is what hybrid inheritance is. Now, to properly understand these points, let's consider one scenario. Let's say we have this hierarchical inheritance where classes B and C are inheriting from the class A. Now let's imagine that we want to combine this specific inheritance with this inheritance. Here we have multiple inheritance where class D is inheriting from both these classes B and C. As the result of the combination, we will get this hybrid inheritance where class D is inheriting from classes B and C and classes B and C are inheriting from the class A. Indirectly, class D is also inheriting from class A. This is possible with the help of hybrid inheritance. So one thing is clear, with the help of hybrid inheritance, we can combine two or more types of inheritance in a single program. And this allows us to model complex relationships like this. Now let's consider one more scenario to make this more clear. Here we have single inheritance where class B is inheriting from class A. Also, let's say we want to combine this single inheritance with this multiple inheritance where class D is inheriting from classes B and C. As the result of combination, we will get this output, which is this hybrid inheritance. Here we have class D inheriting from classes B and C, and class B is inheriting from class A. So indirectly, class D is inheriting from class A. This is hybrid inheritance. Now I hope these points are completely clear to you. With the help of hybrid inheritance, we can model complex real-world relationships. With this, we have understood the basics of hybrid inheritance. This means we are done with the first topic. Now let's move to the second topic where with the help of an example program, we will understand how to implement hybrid inheritance in C++. Let's say we want to write program for this specific relationship. Here we can observe we have the combination of two types of inheritance. We have single inheritance where class student is inheriting from the class person. So student is a person. And we also have multiple inheritance where class student leader is inheriting from the classes student and sports. So we can say student leader is both a student and a sports person. Now we want to write the program for this specific hybrid inheritance. This can be done like this. Here I have written the program for this specific hybrid inheritance. Here in the diagram, we can observe that the class person is not inheriting from any class. So we need to define it as the normal class. Here I have defined the class person with the public member function getInfo that allows us to display I am a person. Then we need to define the class student which is inheriting from the class person. Here I have defined this class student which is inheriting from the class person, and here we have the public inheritance. This means this public member function is also treated public in this class. Also, this class has its own public member function study that allows us to display I am studying. I hope up to this point the program is clear to you. After this, we have the class sports, which is not inheriting from any other class. So we define it as the normal class like this. Here I've defined the class sports with public member function play that allows us to display I play in the college sports team. Then after this, at the end, we have the class student leader, which is inheriting from both these classes, student and sports. Exactly this is what I have mentioned here. This is the program I have written for the purpose of student leader. Here is the class student leader, which is inheriting from both these classes, student and sports. And here also we have public inheritance for both these classes. This means this class has access to all these public member functions, and they are still public in this class. Now, why am I saying this? Let's understand this properly. We know that class student is inheriting from the class person. Therefore, this class student has access to this public member function getInfo. It also has its own public member function study. So it has access to both these public member functions. Now here we can observe this class student leader is directly inheriting from the class student. And therefore it is also indirectly inheriting from the class person. And this is the reason why it has the access to both these functions. I hope this is clear to you. These functions are still public in this class because of this public access specifier. Also, this class is inheriting from the class sports. Therefore, this class has the access to this public member function. And this is the reason I have mentioned before that this class has access to all these public member functions. Therefore, it is possible to call these member functions through the object of this class. This class also has its own public member function lead that allows us to display I am a student leader. So, with the help of this program, we have modeled this specific relationship. Now, let's write the main function to implement this program. Inside the main function, we will define the object of this class student leader, and through that object, we will call all these functions. As I have mentioned this already, it is possible to call all these functions with the help of the object of this class because these are public member functions and they are all available in this class. Now here is the definition of the main function. Inside this function, I have defined the object leader of the class student leader. And through this object, I am calling all these functions. Now when we execute this program, we will get the output as expected. I am a person, I am studying, I play in the college sports team, I am a student leader. This output clearly shows that our program is working correctly and therefore we have successfully implemented this specific relationship. So we have implemented the hybrid inheritance with the help of a C++ program. And now I hope it is clear to you how to do this. With this, we are done with the second topic also, and this means we are done with this lecture. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture. I will see you in the next one.